Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is Styling V, and this is a tutorial on how to make this top with an open slit in front. So let's get started. I'm gonna head to draft my shoulder line, my bust point here. This line here is my bust point, and this is my waistline, and this is my hip line. So these are all the lines that we have. Now if you've been following my page, you already know how to make all this, how to draft all these lines. So the first thing I did was to come down by the top of my paper by 1 inch to get my shoulder line, and after the shoulder line I came down by 10 inches for my bust point line, and I also marked my waistline, which is 17 inches, and after that I came down by 9 inches for my hip line. So these are all the lines that we have right here. So let's get started. Now on this shoulder line, I will divide my shoulder measurements by 2, which is 7.5 inches, and I will mark here and also mark my neck width of 3.5 inches. I will come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope on the shoulder point here, and I will connect it to meet the neck width like this, as you can see me doing here. So after that, I will divide my bust circumference by 6 and add 1.5 inches for my armhole depth. So whatever I have, I will mark it. So mine is 8 inches, and I'll go ahead and mark. Now on this 8 inches point here, I will input my shoulder measurement here so that I'll be able to have a straight line, and I will connect it like this. I'll give it a straight line from the shoulder to meet this 8 inches depth, that is my armhole depth here, and I'll give it an L shape like this, and this is what we have. Now I'll look for the midpoint of this armhole depth, which is 4 inches. Remember I said it's 8 inches. I'll mark 4 inch, and on this 4 inches I will come in here by half of an inch, and I will connect from my shoulder to meet this 0.5 inch here, and I will give it a C curve to the armhole area, and this is our armhole curve. So the next step for us to do is to take half of our nipple to nipple on our bust point on our waistline here. Mine is 4 inches, so I'm marking 4 inches here, and I'll come down by 6 inches and also input half of my nipple to nipple on this area, and this is what we have. The next thing I will do is to connect. I'll connect all the lines like this using the straight part of my ruler, and this is what we have. Now after doing this, on the waistline I will go ahead and 0.7 inches on both sides for my dart legs, and this is what we have. So I'll connect to meet my bust point like this. So this method is just a repeated method on how to draft a basic bodice. If you've been following my channel, you know I do this a lot. So you just go ahead and connect it to meet the 6 inches like this, and this is our dart. Now the next thing I will do is to divide my bust circumference on this chest line. I'll go ahead and divide my bust circumference by 4, and I will mark like this. On this waistline, I'll divide my waist circumference by 4, and I will mark. Now after dividing my waist circumference by 4, in order for us to replace this dart, if you want your top to have this snatchy kind of look, you replace 1 inch. Remember I took a dart of 1.5 inches, that is 0.7 inches on the 2 sides. So because I want this top to be snatched, I replaced 1 inch instead of 1.5 inch. Okay, so on the hip line, I'll divide my hip circumference by 4, and I will go ahead and mark. So this is what we have, and I'll connect all the lines together from my chest line to meet my waistline, and I'll flip my ruler to the curvy side to meet the hip line, and this is what we have right here. Now this dress is having a princess dart. Yes, it's having a princess dart on the armhole area. So now to achieve this princess dart, I will get the midpoint of this armhole, which is 4 inches here, and I will connect from this 4 inches to meet my bust point. Look at how I am placing my ruler. From this 4 inches, I'll connect it to meet this bust points area here like this. as you can see me doing right here. So this is to give it that princess curve shape. So the next thing I will do is to take 0.5 inches from this line here. That is, I'll come up by 0.5 inches and come down by 0.5 inches. So this is what we have. When I'm done, I will reconnect it to meet this bust point line here that we marked. So I'll just go ahead and reconnect it like this, as you can see me showing you. So this is the first one. I'll reconnect the second one again to meet this line. So this is to tighten the armhole area for the princess dart. So this is what we have. So from this bust point, I'll come down by 1 inch. Yeah, I'll come down by 1 inch and I'll reconnect my dart so that we'll not be having a pointy effect on the bust point area. I'll reconnect my dart to meet this 1 inch here, like this, as you all can see me doing. So this is what we have, and I'll just go ahead and blend this side. Yeah, so by doing this, by the time you want to join your princess dart, you won't be having a pointy effect. Like, it will not be pointy on that area. So that is why I am doing this particular thing I'm doing here. That's why I am blending it, and this is what we have right here. So the next thing I will do is to replace this dart on this armhole area. We'll go ahead and replace it, which is 1 inch, like this. So this is because we don't want to have any shortage while joining our center piece and the side piece. So I'll also go ahead and replace it on the chest line area. Now this is what we have, and I'll go ahead and reconnect by creating a new armhole. So this is now our new armhole, like this. So you can see what we have here, and I'll extend this line here to meet the 1 inch here. So this, you can see what we have. Now I'll have to reconnect this 1 inch at the chest line to meet the waistline area so that our bust will not be tight. So this is it. So this is what we have for the front pattern. So you can see the front pattern. Now the next thing for us to do is to mark the depth of our neckline. Now this depth of neckline depends on how deep you want it to be. So for this particular dress, the client does not want it too deep, so I'll come down by my shoulder line by 8 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 8 inches. So yours can be as deep as 10 inches. So I'll go ahead and give it that V shape using the curvy side of my ruler. So it's not actually a straight V, yeah, it's a curvy V, and this is what we have. So when we're done doing this, I will create in that open slit in front. Now this is what we will do. From the side of our dress, that is from the waistline at the side area, I will come down by 4.5 inches. From the waistline, I'll come down by 4.5 inches, and from the midpoint of the waistline, I will come down by 3 inches. So remember what I did. I came down on the side by 4.5 inches and on the midpoint of the waistline area by 3 inches. So note this. Now on the hip area, I will come in by 1.5 inches from the midpoint. Yes, I came in by 1.5 inches from the midpoint, and this is what we have. The next thing for us to do is to connect all the lines together. So remember what I did by coming down by 4.5 inches from the side and 3 inches from the waistline, and I came in by 1.5 inches from the midpoint of the hip line area. And now I will connect from this 3 inches to meet this 1.5 inches at the hip line area, and this is what we have. And from this 4.5 inches to meet this 1.5 inches at the hip line area, and this is what we have. Now your slit can be deeper than mine. Okay, your slit can be deeper than mine. So I'll just go ahead and extend our dart. So this line that we just rule out here, and you can see what we have right here. Now you can choose to make this particular line curvy. Yes, you can curve out this line instead of making it straight. So I'll just go ahead and curve it here from this 4.5 inches to meet this 1.5 inches and this is what we have. So whichever shape you want it, you can make it straight or curve, and this is what we have. And for the slits, you can also make it deeper than this. So this is just what we have for the front part, and let's go ahead and draft the back part. So for the back part, I've gone ahead to extend all the lines that we have in front. That is the shoulder line, the chest line, the bust point, the waistline, and also the hip line. The same lines I drafted in front is the same line we also have at the back. So the first step I will do, or the next step I will do, is to mark out the shoulder measurement. That is, I'll divide my shoulder by 2, and I will go ahead and mark. Mine is 15 inches, and by 2 is 7.5, and I'll mark. And I'll take a neck width of 3.5 inches, and I will come down here by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I will mark. And I will connect from my neck width to meet the 1 inch shoulder slope, and this is what we have. Now the next thing for us to do is to divide our bust circumference, which you already did to get our chest line, and I will also go ahead on this point and I'll mark my shoulder measurement by 2 so that I'll be able to have a straight line. And when I'm done, I will reconnect it like this, as you can see me showing you guys right here. So when I'm done doing this, on this part here, I'll divide my bust circumference by 4 here, and whatever I have, I will input it on the chest line. My bust is 38 and divided by 4 is 9.5, and I'll just go ahead and mark 9.5 on this chest line area, and this is what we have. The next thing for us to do is to mark the armhole curve, or to create the armhole curve like this. So I'll just go ahead and connect from this line here to meet the bust circumference here, and this is what we have. So the next step is to divide our waist circumference by 4, and I'll go ahead and mark. So my waist circumference is 32 inches and divided by 4 is 8 inches, and I'll go ahead and mark it right here. So the next step for us to do is to divide our hip circumference by 4, and I will go ahead and mark here, and this is what we have. After that, we will connect from the chest line here, which is the bust circumference, to meet the waistline, and from the waist to meet the hip line, and this is what we have right here. So for this back pattern, I do not want to sew a dart, so I don't want to have a dart on this back dress. So but if you want yours, you can go ahead and draft out your dart. So for the depth, I will be using 1 inch as the depth of the back neckline, and I will connect from the neck width to meet the neck depth like this, and this is what we have. Now the next thing for us to do is to take in this side of this dress. Now remember, I came down by 4.5 inches from the front area. I'll also do the same thing on the back area. I'll also come down by 4.5 inches from the waistline like this. Okay, so now from the midpoint area of this back dress, I will come down by 6 inches. Yeah, I'll come down by 6 inches here like this, and I'll just go ahead and mark. I'll come down by 6 inches here, and I will extend that 6 inches down to the side. Now this is what I would do. I'll just go ahead and give it a straight line like this before reconnecting from the 4.5 inches to meet the 6 inches here like this. So I'll just go ahead and reconnect it like this, and this is what we have. So the next step is to eliminate a zipper bulge. Yes, remove our zipper bulge dart, and from the waistline I will come in by 0.5 inches and also come down by 0.5 inches, and I'll reconnect to meet the side of my waistline like this, as you can see me doing. So this is to remove any excess that will cause zipper bulge. Yes, so after doing this, I will also come in by 0.5 inches. If you've been following me, you notice I do this a lot on my back pattern. So from this 0.5 inches, I'll connect from my neckline here to meet this 0.5 inches here, and I'll also go ahead and connect it to meet this 6 inches here and this is what we have. So the next thing I would do is to confirm if my waist circumference at the front area is the same thing with my back circumference. Now remember I said we took in a dart of 1.5 inches and replaced with 1 inch at the front area, and at the back area there is no dart. So I'll go ahead and confirm my waist circumference for the front. So now my waist circumference is 7.5 for the front, and for the back also, look at where my tape is ending here. So I also have 7.5 inches. So my waist circumference is the same with the back and front. So this is what we have for our drafting. On the next tutorial, I'll be posting the sewing process. So I'll just go ahead and label them my back and also my front. So let's go ahead and cut so you see what the pattern looks like fully. So if you've watched to this point, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification button to get notified whenever I post new tutorial videos. So these are for the front piece, and I'll go ahead and fold this. I'll go ahead and fold this dart that we took here before reconnecting it on this point, and also cut out the shape like this, as you can see me doing right here. So this is the back, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.